got to finish eating my protein bar. And so, wow, look at this. Yeah. Who can take the wrapper so we don't make a mess? Thank you.
I don't know why you thought that was good.
What? I don't think what? I don't know. I don't know.
That's why I didn't even reach for it.
I don't even know if it's proper etiquette.
To throw something at someone? That's never proper etiquette.
No, it's not. But that's not even where I was going.
So there's two things wrong right now.
To talk with your mouth full
Yeah, not it. No.
on the radio, on social media.
Actually, on social media, it might be appropriate.
It might be appropriate. Is it appropriate to throw dirty wrappers at people who work for you?
Anything's possible on the internet. I found an Instagram account that has 1 million followers, and it's just a very tight shot of a mouth chewing food.
That is so disgusting.
There's about 1 million views, and
I want you to know something. We give so much better information than a mouthful of food. How come we don't have 1 million views?
Well, one of them, it's actually, it sounds creepy, but it's a pretty mouth. It's a woman's mouth, and she's eating with excellent man.
Thing that people go sometimes is people on YouTube, and they'll kind of sit and they'll talk to you like this and say, "Hello, Brad, welcome. You're my 12 o'clock appointment," and it'll calm you down. And it's like a weird, I swear to God, it's a thing that exists, and it's the same thing. It's millions of views.
I thought you were going to tell me it's like a fetish thing that people get off on watching.
Sort of.
But that's what I thought it was.
Were you getting off? You're like, wow, she's
no, I wasn't getting off.
Look at her chew. Whoa, and you were getting all excited? No?
That's not what gets
me. Very low key.
Over there, little Nikki, by the way. It was very low key.
It was very creepy as
well. But if you guys have enough time to take in that sort of content, you can definitely tune into the Brad and Squeeze show twice a day.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you have time to watch a woman chew, you have time to sort out your problems, right?
To the Brad and Squeeze and Kyle show today.
Well, it's the Brad San Squeeze show. So we have all sorts of other people here. We got Kyle, social media guy, but he has changed his name to Strong Manly Guy. We got Spielberg Jr., Little Nikki.
Hey.
We got Kristen, who's coming in. We got Kristen, who's going to be coming in about 12:30. Paul Hirsch coming in at around 12:30. We're going to answer immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Did we sort out YouTube?
YouTube is back up. We did not do anything. YouTube's engineers.
YouTube is sorted out.
Yes. The people they paid fixed it.
The people they paid fixed it. Very good, YouTube people. And what about Periscope? Is Periscope sorted out?
Yeah, Periscope, we never had an issue.
Never had issues with Periscope.
Yeah.
All right, so on Periscope, it's Spar Bernstein. On Facebook, it's Law Office as a Spar Bernstein. I'm going to share this now on my personal page to Brad Bernstein. I would ask everybody who's watching right now to please share this onto your friend's timeline, onto other timelines. You may to groups that think or excited would be more to get their legal issues resolved and have a few laughs than watch a woman chew.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to tell you something. People must be really, I'm using this as a pun now, but people must be really starved for entertainment.
Yeah.
If they're going to watch a woman. Now, you must be starved for entertainment.
No, I just think I come across these, somebody will put it on my timeline. Have you ever seen the world famous sitting on the toilet video?
No. Well, why don't,
yeah.
What's the world famous sitting on a toilet
It's just
video?
a woman.
She's just sitting on the toilet saying, sitting on a toilet. And
yes. And it has at least 30 million views. And it's just a woman.
It's so stupid.
Sitting on the toilet. Saying sitting on the toilet.
And then she goes and flush.
I'm going to tell you something. People are really starved. I don't even find that funny. I'm little Nikki is laughing and finding this funny.
Because it's insane.
Spielberg is hysterical.
No, I pictured the video. I do. It's a classic.
It's a classic video.
We'll show you afterwards.
Nobody has put that one on my timeline yet. Right. Maybe they should put this show on other people's timelines. That would be a nice thing to do. 1-800-529-5465. You know what I find annoying that's on my timeline on Facebook?
What's that?
And it gets a lot of views too. ABC News just puts a picture of the State Building at night. And people are watching it, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And
just a live feed of the...
It's a live feed of the... Why are you watching it?
That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Because
and people watch it.
You don't even get that in real life. There's not a bunch of people just standing looking at it.
Yeah, right. I mean, are there thousands of people standing on 34th and 5th just looking up at the Empire State Building?
Yeah,
No.
that's so weird.
You look and then you look away.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like looking at the Eiffel Tower. If they find it nice, especially if you're a tourist, you can just look at it if you're not in the city to actually.
Well, you know what? That maybe it's people outside of New York, because maybe now I'm thinking, you know what? If I had a feed of the Eiffel Tower, maybe I'd look at it for about 30 seconds or so, 45 seconds. Maybe not. I don't know. It just seems really boring.
30 seconds.
That's a long
If they
time.
have the lights
30
on.
seconds is a very long time, yeah.
No, it's not.
All right.
What? 30 seconds? All right, count
I'll
to
look at it 30
right
seconds.
now.
No.
All right,
It's so long.
let's go to Tanisha. Tanisha.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, are you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
My husband was in like a domestic violence, and he was like charged with a misdemeanor.
He was. Were you the victim?
Yes.
Okay. And what? And why are you calling for him now?
Because I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So I want to know, like, if he was charged with like a misdemeanor, like if he's like traveling, if that will affect him if he go out of the country to come back in, if that could like cause him to get deportation.
Being charged with a domestic violence is not deportation. Being convicted of a domestic violence, even as a misdemeanor, is a deportable offense.
Okay.
So there's a difference between charged and convicted.
Okay.
Okay.
So it won't affect him then.
Those are two different questions. Your first question is, will he get deported? You don't get deported for a charge. You get deported for a conviction. If he is convicted of a domestic violence, even as a misdemeanor, he will be deported. He will not be allowed back in America. If he is charged with a domestic violence, they will question him he will be pulled aside. Whether or not they can't decide not to let him into the United States just because of a charge, but they could put him in deportation because of a charge, and then he would be eligible for bail. Those are two separate questions.
Okay, because that charge was the domestic violence was dropped. I dropped that charge against him. That was in 2015.
I understand that, but guess what? You don't drop charges. The people of the state in which he is arrested drop charges. What you did was you chose not to cooperate, which is two different things.
Okay.
But if he does not have a conviction, then he's fine. If he has a conviction, that's a different story.
Okay, he didn't have a conviction.
Then go travel.
Okay. He has a son. Does that affect him, like filing for his son?
No.
His son is 21. How long does it take for him to come here if he files for him?
About 7 years.
Okay.
Why are you calling for him? Why doesn't he call?
Because he's not here. I'm at work, so I just call for him.
Okay. All right. So that's the deal.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. 1-800-529-5465. What's wrong?
I was thinking something.
What were you thinking?
Nothing I should say over the radio.
What?
I was just, a thought came into my head as you were hanging up, and
What was
it's
the
nothing to do with the show. It was just in my head, and my face reacted.
Okay. When you're on a radio show,
Yes.
whatever thought goes in your head comes out of your mouth. Remember that.
No.
Yes. That's part of being on the radio. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Stafford.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Sorry. Hey, good afternoon. I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, man. I saw your program and I saw it on Facebook where you helped somebody get a green card, and that was really good. That's good,
thank
man.
you.
That's all
I've helped lots of people get their green cards, tens and tens and tens of thousands. Okay, what's going on?
Well, yeah, what's going on? I got my green card from 2000. So I'm a permanent resident now. I want to go in for my citizenship now because I think I'm eligible after 5 years.
Sure.
But my problem is I'm missing my children. They don't want to live here. They just want to come and visit their dad, and see what America is like and go back home. I try to get her in the work program over there, like through the hospitality. She get a surfer ticket and stuff like that. Now she want to travel so she can get better employment or visit or something like that. They just want to come here because,
You want them to get visitors visas. So they got to apply for a visitor's visa. And if they get turned down, it's because they don't have enough ties to their home country.
Okay, so they got to go in their own country and apply for that.
Yeah, you don't do anything with this. They have to show they're visiting, and they're gonna go home. That's what they have to do. And if you need help, if you need help in terms of what you're supposed to do, what's the documentation you should be bringing in, They apply for their visitor's visa. They're the ones who bring in the documentation. It has nothing to do with you, Dad. Dad, stay out of it. Actually, you getting involved makes it worse. They're going to stay with their dad and live with them for the rest of their lives. Actually makes it worse, not better. So they need to be able to prove they're coming for a visit. They're going to be a tourist. They have a job that they're going to return to. They have family that they're leaving behind. They have a reason to leave America. A good reason. If they don't have a good reason to leave America, they will not get a visitor's visa. Here's a good reason not to leave America. I want to live with Dad. That's a good reason not to. Stay out of it. You understand, Stafford?
Yes.
Okay.
But one question again, sir. I think I'm going to use you though in some way, somehow, like to help me. But my question is, 9 out of 10, when they go in Jamaica and apply for their visa, they turn them down. I don't know if they don't have the qualification or whatever.
It's because 9 out of 10 people don't have. It's because 9 out of 10 people don't have the qualification, or 9 out of 10 people don't know what they're doing.
I'm saying, okay.
All right, hold on 1 second. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Victor.
Yes, hello?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Victor.
Are you hearing me?
I hear you.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I came in on a fiancé visa.
Right.
I went through the entire process. I got my green card.
Right.
But right now, my green card has expired. And I got a letter in the mail saying that I have an extension for 1 year. The letter makes it valid. I can travel and so forth. And I will get another my green card in the mail, or I will get a letter saying if they need additional information or if I have to come in for another visit. But what I'm saying is I checked online on the status, and they're still working on cases on February.
It's taking over about 15 to 18 months to process these cases.
Okay, so what I'm saying now, in the event that the letter that they sent to me the year has passed, how do I get an extension?
Okay.
How do
so
I
you go to. How long has it been now that you're waiting?
I've been waiting for like close to a year now. It's just really
all right. So go to
the letter will expire in September.
Okay. So go to uscis.gov. And make sure it's .gov, not .com. You go to uscis.gov. You make a local InfoPass appointment to go down and speak to an immigration officer. You tell the immigration officer exactly what you just told us on the radio, and bring your valid passport, and you bring your receipt notice, and they will put a temporary stamp in your passport extending your green card for an additional year.
Okay, then. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the information.
You're very welcome.
And I do have your number logged in my phone.
Fantastic.
And I am a client.
Fantastic.
Potential client.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, Victor.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. This is the Brad Sans Squeeze Show.
There it is.
The Brad Sans Squeeze.
I like that name.
You like that? Brad Sans Squeeze.
Yeah.
It actually sounds a little foreign.
Foreign, right?
Yeah, a little French.
Yeah, Brad. Well, I think sans is French.
Yeah, but
right?
It sounds like an actual French word.
It sounds like a sans squeeze.
Yeah.
Brad Sans Squeeze.
Sans squeeze.
Sans squeeze.
Yeah.
Mademoiselle
Sans squeeze.
It's like the Royale with cheese thing.
Yeah, that's
very funny. What's the Royale with cheese thing?
From Pulp Fiction. You know, he's like, what do they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France?
Okay, in France.
Royale
with cheese.
Oh, Oh, wow. I almost
Brad.
knocked everything over here. Right. Sun Squeeze. All right. Maybe Squeeze will be back on Monday.
Hopefully.
If
Yes.
not, we will continue the Brad Sun Squeeze show.
Nobody graduates on a Monday, so we'll know.
Yeah. That is very true. He cannot use that excuse, right? You know what happens on Mondays? Elevators get stuck.
That's what.
Always.
Monday is elevator stuck day. You know, I would say 95% of the elevators in the world always get stuck on Mondays.
That and the trains.
And his phone
And
always.
trains are always slow on Mondays.
On Mondays.
Right. And for some reason, AT&T doesn't work on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Right? And
Yeah.
graduations are always Friday, not Monday. I think it's a very valid point there.
Yeah.
Strong, manly guy. All right, Michael. Michael.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Nothing much.
Nothing
But,
much?
Yeah, but no, I only a stuff up right now. Yes.
What? Huh?
All right, you're a man who you have an answer for every freaking thing right now.
I got an answer for every freaking thing. I do got an answer for every freaking thing. You know what? You know what happens? You know what? I'm going to tell you something about myself. I do have an answer for everything. And there's only one thing that gets me really frustrated when I have a really good answer and then people don't listen to me.
Oh, man.
Don't you see sometimes it gets me frustrated? Right?
Noticed.
For real.
You've noticed that. Yeah, for real. So what's your question, Michael?
All right, you see, like how you seem like you come from a heaven backyard. This is my question now.
Okay. Oh, boy, let me stand up here.
Wow. From heaven's
Heaven's
backyard to your
wow.
ears.
Yeah, wow. That makes my mother like an angel or something, right? Okay.
These on peas. Can't even stop
All right.
All right.
What's the question?
All right, all right.
Yeah, we
All
should
right.
invite him onto the show.
Yes,
We love this
Michael, you
guy.
need to be a guest.
Yeah.
All right. Me in like a big situation, 100% situation
What is it?
is like you was married and we realized that my wife was bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
So I have actually a Jamaican lawyer. Him tell me that my lawyer is a drama queen. So now it's like the first in the marriage, like for 2.5 years, this woman go crazy why and start box me like me as I'm look at 13-year-old. So now I put my hand back on her, right? And me get arrested.
Right.
So the judge said, no, the police said this is a woman country. Get bail, immigration come for me. Get bail from immigration. 2 months after now, she start beat me like me's a rag doll and say, oh, I want to put you on for me like, oh, this is a woman country, so me can deport your black ass. So, right there, so now, I don't know what to do.
All right,
get
stop.
one again.
Stop. Let me tell you what to do. I have a solution for everything. Did you get your 2-year green card?
But I'm not getting nothing. Only thing I have is warrant for leave.
You only have a warrant. You have an order of deportation.
Yes, sir.
So you went through the deportation process and have been ordered deported?
Yeah.
So how come you're calling me from America? How come they didn't arrest you and deport you? What happened?
No, it really happened in Florida, right?
Uh-huh.
I have the outside court. So this outside court now, I have like a couple of days for coming with a pending I-130. So if that day is passed and I don't get to do it, I need to come in, volunteer, and leave.
But you sound like you're an abused spouse as well.
Yes, sir. We don't have no knowledge about these stuff. First time me getting married.
All right.
And then me.
All right. This is what you do. Okay, he's in deportation, and it sounds like, based at least on what he's saying to me, is that his wife was bipolar. She was emotionally destructive to him. He reacted to her, put his hands on her. She put his hands on him. It was a whole disaster here. There's certainly abuse going from the wife to him. Not sure what's going on from him to her. We got to look at the police reports. What?
Me to call 911 the second time I'm going to get arrested, and they never really believe me. So a lawyer get the 911 record, so I'm going to get a bail of $3,500 to come out of immigration. So right there, so no quiz. I forgot the name, Brad.
Right.
Anyway, yes. So me clueless. I don't have no option. I get a letter back from a lawyer say I'm on a 10-year clock and I've been 5 years. So me really want to go back. Some say don't go back. Some say to stay.
All right. You can get a green card if you're in an abusive relationship, and you can show you're a person of good moral character, which listen, you sound like a good guy, but your biggest issue is going to be good moral character, because it's possible that you have an arrest record for putting your hands on your wife as well. You also have to be able to prove that you are a person of who has been abused emotionally, physically. Certainly you can present arguments to this effect, and certainly you can try to be able to prove all of this. It sounds like you've had a rough time. Hold on one second, Michael. We are not going to solve your problem over the radio, but hopefully I'll be able to do it, if we have a consultation. Even from Florida, we can do phone consultations, so hold on one second. All right, 1-800-529-5465. That, my friends, was a mouthful that we would not be able to... But there's certainly abuse. It sounds like abuse going both ways, and at least
it was intense.
There are men who are abused,
yes,
emotionally, physically, but he also has to show he's a person of good moral character. So we'll see what we can do to help him. Donovan.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah, what's up? Good morning. What's going on?
Thank you for the service you do for the community, Brad.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Brad, my wife is out of state, out of status, right? And she have my son. But they are on the WIC program. Should I take her off of it before I fight for her, or what?
Yes, if your wife is collecting any sort of government assistance for herself, she should
She's not collecting for herself. She collects for my son.
For your son? No, then that's WIC for your son. Are you the citizen?
Yes.
Yeah, so then, she should cut off of it, because they're going to say you don't support your child, let alone how you're going to support your wife.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, brother, thanks.
All right, you're welcome. 1-800-529-5465. Honey.
Hello.
Hi, honey. Hi, honey.
Good afternoon.
Hi, honey. How are you? I'll be home in about 3 hours.
Okay. Thank you.
What's for dinner? I love saying that.
I was just calling because I'm trying to obtain a green card for my husband.
Yeah.
But in 2010, he was arrested and he pled guilty to possession of marijuana, and he was off with conditional discharge. I was just wondering how to go about getting the case sealed so that it doesn't affect the process of getting an immigration card.
Was he already found guilty?
No, he said he pleaded guilty.
Okay, so once you plead guilty to any sort of drug conviction, other than marijuana possession, less than 30 grams, you're not getting a green card. So the day he pled guilty was the day he closed the coffin on his green card, unless it was literally a joint.
Yeah, it was less than 30 grams.
It was less than 30 grams, then you can do a waiver.
So you have to do a waiver?
Yeah, he needs help with a lawyer.
Okay. So what kind of waiver does he have to do?
Well, it depends. If it happened within the last 15 years, he has to do a waiver based on hardship to you. If it happened more than 15 years ago, he does a waiver saying he's a good guy, it's more than 15 years, and otherwise, give me the green card. Much simpler.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
But listen, honey. Okay? All right? And your husband can't get mad at me for calling you honey, because your name is Honey. Okay?
Yes.
So, you need a lawyer for this.
Yes.
Okay? You're listening to a good lawyer.
I know, that's why I called.
Thank you. You're the best, honey. Best honey in the world. Hold on one second. All right, 1-800-529. I love saying that.
You had fun with her name.
Yes, but she didn't think it was funny.
She probably gets that a lot.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I don't know how old. Maybe she's like 30. She's like, listen, I've heard this for 30 years. My mother killed me with that name. Okay, killed me with that name, right? 1-800-529-5465. Hello, AJ. What are you doing here?
I just came to say hi.
Just came to say hello. One of our old interns showed up.
I remember him back when.
Yes, Paul Hirsch is here. Kristen O'Leary.
Hello.
Strong, manly guy is here. Little Nikki. Oh my God, we got a full house going here.
Should I sub out for Paul?
Yes,
please. Sub out for Paul? Nah, what for? You're better looking than him. 1-800-529-5465.
I disagree.
You disagree. All right.
I concur.
All right. So, for everybody out there, a couple things. Number one, we're going to be answering the rest of your You know what we're going to do? Let's answer 3 more immigration questions. And then Kristen is here from our matrimonial department. let's kind of produce this show because we got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
All right. So Kristen is here from our matrimonial department. We'll answer 3 more immigration questions. Kristen is here from the matrimonial department. We have some things we want to talk about: matrimonial law, child support. What are we talking about today?
I actually was going to talk about some social media do's and don'ts.
Social media. Are you listening?
I
to
could
this
tap in. I could tap into that social media do's and
Yeah.
don'ts.
You can tap into that.
I can.
Okay.
Maybe
just be
that's a
careful.
social media don't.
No, it's a social media don't.
So as an example.
That's right. Okay, and also be careful.
No, I didn't go anywhere
How you
with
phrase
that.
these things.
I got you.
Because younger people take that differently.
I appreciate
Okay,
that.
1-800.
I meant it somewhat different.
Okay, good. 1-800-529-5465. All right, so let's do that, and then somehow we'll talk about USA Credit Repair. Somehow we'll answer social media questions, and then we'll get the heck out of here, and it's Friday afternoon. How's that?
Sounds great.
Nice.
That's
Dennis. Denise.
Yes, hello.
Dennis, what's up?
Yeah, it's Dennis. That's the name.
Dennis. What's up, man?
I've been listening.
Yeah.
I've been listening. I'm trying to learn a lot here.
Okay.
Okay, I have a real problem here because I've been here since 1969.
59 or 69?
1969. And I've been in the military for 6.5 years. I'm from Trinidad.
Right.
I have been, matter of fact, been working on the job for 25 years.
Uh-huh.
And I never did go, well, I put a waiver in for a green card at one time. Like I was homeless, I was striving, I got a green card through the homeless, people. Then I wrote, but after a couple of years, I had lost it. I tried to get another one through a waiver. They told me
Why do you need a waiver? What did you do in your life that you need a waiver?
I had the money to pay for it at that time.
All right. So, couple things. All right. Number one, they have something called, first of all, you know what happened in 1969?
We went to the moon.
We went to the moon, and I was about 4 months old.
Yes.
Okay, that's how far back we're going.
Yes.
Okay? Strong media guy here, strong manly guy here, wasn't even born yet.
No, my father had not hit puberty yet.
Yes.
Not
Okay.
a twinkle in anyone's eye.
was not even born yet. Not even a thought.
Nope.
Not even a thought. Little Nicky, we knew you were coming. Okay? But in 1969, what the law says is if you were physically here since 1972, it's automatic amnesty.
Oh, nice.
So this guy's eligible for his green card.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's registry. It's an old form of amnesty. Actually, one of the easiest things Congress can do. You want Congress to do something really good for immigrants? Change the registry date from 1972 to 2010. Then
everyone's in.
And you're not making amnesty. You're just.
Why didn't Obama think of that?
I don't know why.
What was he waiting for?
Yes, he's waiting for Brad to make that suggestion. So you're entitled to registry. You've tried to get green cards before. Perhaps you already did. There's no such thing as homeless green card, which is what you talked about. No, there was never a law that says
Maybe he got that 1969.
homeless people get green cards, but you haven't had money. You've done some stuff. I think what needs to happen is perhaps you've been a green card holder this whole entire time. You went through the military. The military would not have had you in the military for 6 years and never given you a green card.
Yeah, I know I have my number and everything. I have my military papers.
So this is what we should do. Come in and see me, and we're going to do something called the Freedom of Information Act request.
Could I get a number again or the address?
Then did you call on your cell phone?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, the same exact number you called on your cell phone. It's locked in your phone now. Locked in your phone now. That's the number for the office. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have someone speak to you. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get your immigration records and see what happens. All right? It's called the FOIA. 1-800-529-5465. We've had some good calls today.
That's a good one. That one I haven't heard.
Well, you should have heard.
That was a good one.
You should have heard the other guy who said I came from the backyard of heaven.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right? You should have heard that
Oh.
one.
He was lightening his question up.
Better than the
preparing
basement
Brad.
of heaven, which I can't imagine is a good place.
Yeah. From the basement of heaven.
Basement of heaven.
Yeah.
Probably.
Pretty hot down there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. 1-800-529-5465. All right. I'm a Survivor Once, page 21. Let's do I'm a Survivor. I love that name.
I'm a
good one.
survivor.
Ooh, you have a good voice, little
Nice.
Nicky.
Yeah, she does.
Very good.
Thank
Got a
you.
good
Do
radio
you want to
voice.
do the jingle for us? The page 21 jingle?
No, I think you do it the best.
No, the page 21 jingle. It's page 21 time. It's page 21 time. It's page 21 time.
We need to discuss the jingle first
Yeah, that's
before.
Come on, let me hear
Yeah.
it. Come on, that's the jingle.
That's not the jingle
It
yet.
is the jingle. That's the only jingle I know.
They're gonna text you and say, "No, it's not."
That is not the jingle. All right, page 21, USA Credit Repair. They bring the show to us. They bring the show from us to you. Without USA Credit Repair, there would be no Brad Bernstein show.
No backyard in heaven.
No backyard in heaven, because they're the ones who have the time, and without the time, there's no show, and they lease it to us.
Yep.
So 1-800-872-7177, USA Credit Repair, here for you today, there for you tomorrow. 1-800-872-7177. If anybody didn't think the key to beautiful credit goes through USA Credit Repair, you are sorely mistaken.
Sorely
Dead
mistaken.
Dead wrong. Dead wrong. The key to beautiful credit always goes through USA Credit Repair. And USA Credit Repair's telephone number is 1-800-872-7177, 1-800-USA Credit. And if you had no idea what USA Credit Repair does, you can go to their website. And the name of their website is WeFixBadCredit.com. And from there, at WeFixBadCredit.com, it is quite obvious what USA Credit Repair does. So thank you, USA Credit Repair people. As a matter of fact, on my Facebook page yesterday, somebody sent me a private message. Okay.
Not for your wall?
No, not for my wall. And said, "Hey, you fix bad credit?" So I've said this number enough that people think it's me. Nice. I have nothing to do with USA Credit.
Look, there's a say, if this doesn't work out for you.
That's right.
Because you're saying we fix bad credit.
Right, so it should be they fix bad credit.
They fix bad credit.
But it's a terrible website name, so it's WeFixBadCredit.com.
Correct. And that number is 1-800-872-7177. All right, so we're on social media, Kristen.
Yeah.
On Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein.
Absolutely.
We're on social media on my personal page of Brad Bernstein, on Periscope at Spar Bernstein, on YouTube at Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein. You can also check us out on Instagram on the Brad and Squee Show, on Spar Bernstein, and if you choose to follow me, Bernstein_Brad, if you want to give a plug to your Instagram, if you want people to follow you, by all means.
I actually don't have an Instagram.
You don't have an Instagram?
Wow.
Oh, how old are you?
30?
Oh, come on. You're the only 30-year-old without an Instagram. Come on.
I have to look into it.
You got to look into that one. All right, so what's the do's and don'ts?
So, we have a lot of clients who, whatever reason, they want to share what's going on in their personal life. And I get that, this age of social media, you want people to know what's going on. But, when you've got child support issues and you're going through a divorce or a custody battle, you really have to be careful about what you're putting out in the public. In my own personal life, I do have a Facebook, but I see people that I know in my personal life posting things that are inappropriate, writing, one more weekend where my baby's mother didn't bring the child for visitation, writing things like that, and then engaging other people.
These are your friends?
Yeah, people in comments. People are commenting, oh, she's a bad mother, oh, this and that. And then,
how does that affect the case?
Well, she can print that out from the internet because it's in public and then bring it to court on the next court appearance and say, hey, look, he's disparaging me in public to our neighbors and friends. Our child has a Facebook. He can see this. Your kids are in an age of social media as well. And 5 years from now, they can see the things that, you and your, ex-husband were spouting to each other over the internet for everyone to read. It's disgusting.
Wow.
It can be dangerous for a case, too. Very, very dangerous.
So what do you do as an attorney?
You need to advise clients that they need to be smart. They need to be careful what they post. Even things as simple as, a barbecue that you're having in the backyard. You're holding your infant child with a beer in one hand, the kid in the other hand. That may be innocent. You may have had one beer at that barbecue, but then your ex-wife's like, oh, he had about 10 beers, and later on he dropped the kid.
Right, and by the way, he's holding the kid over the barbecue.
While flipping burgers,
While
right.
he's flipping burgers. He's not a very good father.
Yeah, they turn you out to be an alcoholic who can't stop drinking in the middle of the day.
Or even, I've seen in my own practice of law that people are at the clubs a lot.
Yep.
Okay, look at this. Monday night at the club, Tuesday night at the club, Wednesday night at the club.
Where's the kid?
Where's the kid? Who's watching this child?
Or taking pictures of their fancy cars and whatnot and then claiming I don't have money for child support.
I don't have a job.
Right.
So you have to be very, very, and by the way, so this goes across to everything.
Of course.
Yes,
Okay?
criminal also. We have a
Criminal law.
problem with the same problem.
So like what?
We have cases in which the prosecutor and the government are only using social media to ensnare our clients in a conspiracy case.
We had a case about that.
Yes.
Where the guy was holding a gun in the picture.
Yep.
And then, and what? He was holding a gun and he was flashing a sign.
Yeah.
That whatever that sign was, that he's part of some bad gang.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with that picture, he did nothing. They had nothing against the guy.
Yeah.
With that picture, they were able to bring a case against him.
Yep.
With that photograph.
He was a producer of a video, and the video was not flattering towards the police, and there happened to be what appeared to be a semi-automatic weapon in the video. It wasn't real, but it certainly looked that way, and they used all that against him. And again, it was just what looked like a harmless posting, and sure enough.
Or what about if you have a personal injury case?
Right, and now you're up on the roof cleaning gutters.
Cleaning gutters.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Going skiing.
Skiing, right.
Your back really hurts.
Jet skiing in the Bahamas doesn't look good in a,
Absolutely.
And you want to know what Trump is doing now? Mr. Trump?
Mr. Rump? What is he got?
Mr. Rump!
Yes, Mr. Rump.
I like that.
Ronald Rump.
Drop the T.
Yep.
All right, no.
No?
On Squeeze's behalf, I want to stop all this right now. No.
We got the Obama picture. We're going high road?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. All right, so what Mr. Trump is doing right now is he has instructed embassies, when you go apply for a visitor's visa, to provide all of your social media handles.
Yeah, you gotta give over the phone, right? Unlock the phone.
You have to give over all your social media handles. So when you go to apply for a visa now, they're going to look at all of your social media for the last 5 years. And if there is anything that would lead somebody to believe
anti-U.S. sentiment.
What about here? Anti-U.S. sentiment.
Or even if you said that Donald Trump,
or what about,
what's he doing?
Or what about you claim you come in with a job and say I work at a law firm. I'm making it up. I have no idea. But the reality is,
right. You're wearing a McDonald's hat.
You're wearing a McDonald's
from 3 days
hat.
ago.
Right. So social media. One thing about social media is the pictures that you post generally don't lie. No. Generally, they sometimes lie.
Because it's you posting it. Usually, it's not someone else.
But sometimes they lie. Sometimes you post something that's not really what's going on.
It's true.
So it depends.
It's called flexing for the gram.
There you go.
What's
Look at
flexing
that.
for the gram?
Showing off.
Yeah,
showing off. Right. Taking a picture in front of a fancy car when it's not your car.
Right. Or like looking like you're doing something really dangerous when it's superimposed.
Right.
Right.
Standing next to a cutout of a pretty lady.
Right. When it's
claiming it's your girlfriend.
Exactly. All right. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. We have Kristen O'Leary here from our matrimonial department. So if you do have any questions on matrimonial law, family law, child support, what are we taking questions on? Kristen,
anything you want. Yeah, anything. I mean, I love callers.
It's a Friday.
We love the show.
It's a Friday.
So anything you want to ask.
Anything with family law, matrimonial law, criminal defense. 1-800-529-5465. We're going to. You guys want to hang out while we still do immigration? 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Andrea.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I have a question. I'm good. How are you?
Great. What's going on?
I have a question. I applied for my citizenship in December.
Right.
And I did my fingerprint in January.
Right.
But I haven't heard anything as yet. Do you have any idea as to how long the process takes?
You did your fingerprint in January and you haven't heard anything? Did you get a receipt notice back did you get a notice back that they needed more documentation? That you were missing something? You should be hearing momentarily. Literally. Okay. I mean, you should be getting an interview very soon, June, July.
Yeah.
If you don't have an interview by the end of July, call me.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. 1-800-529-5465. That's the number to call to get on the radio with an immigration question. It's the number to call to get on the radio with a family law question, with a matrimonial law question, a divorce question, child support. Do you know how many people have child support issues? A lot. How many children are there in this world? A lot of them.
Billions.
Okay. Child custody, child visitation. You heard Kristen talking about a kind of a don'ts on social media, but everyone has their own specific issues. Call right now, 1-800-529-5465. What's going on in criminal defense, Mr. Hirsch?
Criminal defense. We just got a very good letter from a judge.
A good letter from a judge?
A good letter from a judge dismissing a gun case for us after we did a hearing. Nice young man who was...
Is that how it works? Like you do a hearing and then the judge writes you a letter saying, I'm going to dismiss it?
Some judges will reserve decision and then send you their decision in writing.
So what happened?
So we accused of gun possession in a car. Did the hearing because the government wanted to throw our 18-year-old client in jail.
What were the facts surrounding the case? He was driving.
He
a car?
was
He was
driving a
advancing
car with his girlfriend, and the police claimed to have pulled him over for failure to signal during a right-hand turn.
Okay.
Which usually will let you know that he did nothing wrong.
And
then searched his car illegally.
Without his permission.
Correct.
So how did that search go down?
They claim to have seen the girlfriend put something in the glove compartment.
Okay.
And then claim to have recovered a grinder with green leafy substance in it.
Okay.
That was open to the public.
Which would lead someone to believe it's marijuana.
Correct.
Okay. And this happened where?
In Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
Yep.
And you were a former DA in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was.
Shocking that they would want you. Right?
Shocking. Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Correct. Not
so not a far reach there to get a really good former DA in Brooklyn for a Brooklyn case.
Yes.
Okay. So then what happened?
Then
so he's brought downtown.
Yeah, through the system. Bail is set. He makes bail. He's got a good family that's behind him. They bailed him out and came to see us. We represented him, and they made an offer that we weren't going to accept.
What was your argument that you got the case dismissed?
The stop was yes.
So they
I would
put-
use an expletive, but
So
I'll go with
right,
illegal.
was mucked
Yeah,
up.
it's mucked
The
up.
stop was a mucked
It
up
was a
stop.
young black man
Right.
driving a car, and
Right.
some officers
They-
will use that as an excuse to pull you
They
over.
call that the fruit of the poisonous tree.
Okay, it was fruit of the poisonous
Right,
tree.
do you understand what that
There was
means,
lots
Spielberg?
of fruit.
I can use context.
Yes, they got some fruit, but it was a poisonous tree, so it was
So
no
it's no good. So
No
everything
good.
everything after the illegal act falls apart. So
Correct.
the judge determined that the officer tailored his testimony for constitutional grounds.
So you had to basically cross the
Yes.
police officer.
Yes.
So basically, what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is that they hire Paul Hirsch. This kid gets caught with weed in his car, and Paul Hirsch puts the cop on the witness stand, puts him under his own grinder.
Yes.
And by the time
He didn't know which way was up.
By the time Paul Hirsch is done, the
Yep.
judge says this cop
Yep.
is lying.
Yep.
And everything that this cop discovered is illegal and unconstitutional. And even though there may have been marijuana in the car
And the gun in the glove
and a
compartment.
gun in the glove compartment, what's more important than whether there was a gun, from my perspective,
Agreed.
and I think from most people's perspectives, is what's more important than you got some black people say, oh, you got this guy off. He was guilty. He may have been guilty of something. But whether you're guilty or not guilty, what's more important is that you keep your constitutional rights.
Right.
Because if you don't keep your constitutional rights, go look what happens in North Korea.
Right.
Go look what happens in Russia. Go look at what happens around most of the world. Okay? Because in most of the world, there's a lot of not guilty people who get. Look what happened in North Korea with this kid
I know, terrible.
who stole a poster. He's now in a coma.
It's crazy.
Okay?
He was given
That's
15
what-
years of hard labor.
And who knows whether he stole a poster or not? We have no idea. Okay? But that's what happens when you don't have a constitution and when you don't. I mean that's an extreme example.
No, but it's what happens when the government goes unchecked, when you don't have any power.
What we're proud about is that there's a constitution in the United States, and you check the government, and cops can't pull you over for BS reasons, make up stories whether you are ultimately guilty or not.
Yep.
Congratulations, Mr. Paul Hirsch.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a great decision. Yeah, it was.
1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. All right. Little Nicky, social media jingle. please.
Ooh.
By the way, when I say 1-800-529-5465 while Little Nicky is warming up her voice,
Yes.
that is the number to call Paul Hirsch.
It is.
Okay, that is the number you should have saved. God forbid you're the guy who gets pulled over. Okay, whether it's in Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, New Jersey. We went up to Massachusetts.
We've gone,
We went to Tennessee.
been to
We've
Elmira.
gone to Elmira. We've been to Indiana.
Albany.
Save our number, 1-800-529-5465 for criminal defense. When you say, oh, it's not going to be me, that's the day it's going to be
That's
you.
when it's you.
All right, save the number, okay? Don't hex yourself.
Yeah.
Hex. It's true. You're going to hex yourself if you don't save the number. 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. It's also the number for Kristen O'Leary. You have a family law issue, a matrimonial issue, divorce, child custody. The dumbest thing in the world is to represent yourself. Do you know, have you ever met a good lawyer who represents himself?
He's got an ass for a client.
He's got an ass for a client.
I think I'm allowed to say that, right? I'm quoting someone.
Correct. Never represent yourself. I don't even represent myself. When I'm brought to court, I don't represent myself.
It's never in your interest.
It's never in your
No.
interest. 1-800-529-5465. It's the same number for Kristen O'Leary matrimonial, same number for immigration, same number for Paul Hirsch. 1-800-529-5465. I'm just looking here, social media. We have a lot of questions. Let's get into it. By the way, I'm a Survivor says, in Jamaica, there's a phrase to describe you, Brad. You are coming straight from Jesus' jacket pocket.
Ooh, sounds like a good place to
Yes,
be.
I hope
If you're going to be in the spot, Jesus' jacket
Sounds
pocket.
like a compliment.
Sounds like a good place
Sounds
to
like
be.
a very good compliment.
Better than Heaven's Basement.
Yeah, better than Heaven's Basement. Just hope my rabbi's not
Right.
listening. All right, 1-800-529-5465.
I think he'd be okay
I
with
think
that.
he's okay.
I think
with
he's
it.
all right with
Yeah,
that.
all right.
Jesus' pocket is Jesus' pocket. No one's going to argue with that.
You know what? It's a good place to come
It's not-
from,
it
right?
can't be bad. Can't be bad. Can't be
place.
bad.
All right. So,
Social media.
social media, okay.
All right. Hi, if I'm migrating to the U.S. from Canada, must the address on file be where I have to go?
No.
All right. My husband is filing for me. My papers have been put in, but my work permit didn't get put in. I did my fingerprints and already have my fingerprints. Will I still get a work permit?
No, you have to put your work permit in.
All right. If you
You can't get a work permit unless you actually file for it.
The government can't read your mind? They don't know
they
you're
can't
asking?
read your mind, no.
All right. If you have a working permit, can you take the plane to visit family members in the States?
Yes.
My mom is filing for 3 girls. If her 5 kids say the immigration lawyer has the last papers for us to leave is with one. All right, this is gonna take a second to decipher.
You don't decipher it. You just read it.
All right, let me restart. My mom's
I will
filing for
decipher.
3 girls. If us 5 kids, my mom say the immigration lawyers say is the last paper leave for us is the one with our school. We go our address. A few more. How long it take for us to get through after these papers are complete?
I have no freaking idea.
There you go. Way to give it right back to him. That's it. He wanted it red, he got it red.
All right. So number one, take that question to your school and ask them to write it in proper English. Okay, next.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Well,
Yeah.
All right.
To throw out an abbreviation with some
Yes.
numbers.
I assume mom filed for her, and they're at the stage now where
They're asking for like support documents.
which means it's a few months away. I'm assuming. Okay, but please put that in proper English, and I'll be happy to answer.
Okay.
All right.
Can't behave. Oh, sorry. That's just a
another-
comment. Someone
What?
says if you can't behave, don't stay in the U.S. Canada's the best.
Oh, you can go to Canada and do whatever the hell you want?
Yeah, apparently.
I was surprised we had a question about coming from Canada here and not
You know
going
what?
from here
You know
to
what?
Canada.
That may be true because when I went to University of Michigan in Ann Arbor,
Yeah.
Canada was like a half hour.
Stone's throw away.
Stone's throw away. We used to go misbehave in Canada.
I know. I visited a friend in Michigan.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
I
It's
be-
right
misbehaved in Canada as well.
It was a place called Windsor. You
Yes.
could misbehave.
Yes.
And they seem to allow it.
No, they enjoy it.
Yeah,
They certainly enjoy it.
All right, continue. That
right.
was 25 years ago. I don't
Yes.
All right. Did they change the DACA program?
No, but Trump. Oh, very, very
Yeah,
important.
Yes.
I was about to
Yes,
say.
Donald Trump.
Yes.
I put it up on our Facebook page. Donald Trump came out today with 2 big announcements. One, Rosenstein, the guy who told him to fire Comey, is now investigating him, and which is bizarre. And 2, on top of that, oh, by the way, we're going to keep the DACA program for life. So everybody in the DACA program, breathe. It's all good now.
That's the one in the DACA program.
Anyone who's in DACA gets to stay on DACA forever here. According
Nice.
to Donald Trump.
Good news.
Good news.
Good.
Good news.
Good news.
All right. I've been a green card holder for 10 years and about to file for citizenship. I work for the school district in Texas. No arrests or convictions. I want to visit Canada. I'm a little fearful. Any advice?
Why would you be fearful? You can. You have a green card. Go visit as long as you can go into Canada with. You have a visa to go to Canada and come back. Don't stay too long. You can file for your citizenship. Citizenship you need. Don't stay out for more than 90 days. You're fine.
All right.
Nothing to be fearful about.
Can someone get the one-shot deal to move in an apartment file for their spouse?
The one-shot deal, meaning that
Is that a Kennedy assassination reference?
No. This is Google to translate. When they file for their spouse, they want to get a permanent green card, not a 2-year green card. They only want to go through the process one time, the one-shot deal.
The one-shot deal, I see.
So in order to get the one-shot deal, which is you get your permanent green card, you don't get a conditional card, you don't have to go deal with it back again. You have to be married for more than 2 years when you go for your interview.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, so if
Not when you file, but by the time of your interview.
And now the interviews are taking 9-10 months.
Right.
So if you want the one-shot deal, stay married for about
year,
12, a year and a half, and then file, and then you should be okay.
There's one on Periscope.
Yes, go ahead.
Why does USA imprison the most people by percent? It's not.
I have no idea. Okay. All right, next.
If someone's over 60 and not working, can they get food stamps and other assistance from the government and still file for someone?
Yes, they can get assistance. You could file for somebody depending on what the assistance is. If the assistance is need-based, meaning it's because you are in poverty, you can file for them, but you're not going to be able to give an affidavit of support at the end. They're going to need a second affidavit of support from somebody. If it is you're over 65 and you're getting Social Security, guess what? Donald Trump is entitled to Social Security. So Social Security fund age is not need-based. Medicare is not need-based. We had that discussion the other day, right, AJ?
That's just age?
Medicaid is need-based. Right.
Okay. Is it law that your spouse must do a joint tax filing? I have my WP and I'm working. Can we file separately?
Yes, it's called married filing separately. It's one of the tax options.
Yes, but if you're basing your marriage on, if you're basing your green card on a valid marriage, you should be filing jointly.
All right.
Because immigration looks at it that if you're filing separately, you are not commingling.
Indication you're
It's an
separate.
indication you are not commingling, you're not sharing the economic relationship. And when you don't share an economic relationship, there's questions about what is your relationship. So now when you come in married filing separately, it leads to questions about, is this a real marriage?
All right. If I'm married 3 years but only have my green card for 18 months, can I apply for citizenship?
No. You have to have your green card for 3 years.
How can one get a fee waiver? I think the form is 912, and will it create problems as your paperwork is being processed?
No, just fill it out. If you're entitled to it, you're entitled to it.
My category is F1. My priority date is 2011. When should I expect to hear from immigration?
Very shortly. They're in December 2010.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah. And also, how long will it take to get your work permit and green card after doing your biometrics?
6 weeks for your work permit if you did it right.
Okay. Which USCIS office do you submit your documents to? I'm in Jersey.
What documents? What are we submitting?
Doesn't say.
Follow the instructions on the form that you're submitting. Each form tells you where to file. So you just got to read it.
Okay. I've been a green card holder for 10 years. Oh, we got to this one. How much does it cost to file for papers for a minor who's in Jamaica? He's 9.
$535.
And we have gotten to everybody today.
We have gotten to everybody. Is there any nice comments you would like to read off?
Somebody says I need a new wardrobe.
You need a new
I need a new wardrobe.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at what you look like.
I'm supposed to be behind the
This is a
scenes.
national broadcast.
By the way, this is a law firm. This is how you come to dress to work on a Friday?
I was wearing a jacket, but you sweated me out of it.
This is how you come to work? You know what? We got to check. We have to start doing like a wardrobe check.
Spot Friday, casual Friday checks.
We do casual Fridays, but this is way too casual. It looks like you go to the beach, man.
I was wearing a jacket.
You need your Spar Bernstein
You could
pullover.
not see me until you put me in the oven, and then I had no choice.
Oh my gosh. Carly Freeman says this is a great episode.
Nice.
And Wet Sugar Donna. Why is she Wet Sugar?
Maybe we should not get into that.
Exactly why is she Wet Sugar? I just always want to know. She watches every day.
Fair enough.
It's a fair question.
Fair. Have her call in. Tell her to call in.
Please tell us.
Latoya says you are so handsome, I must say.
Ooh, Antonio.
I can't tell.
Which one? Which one's handsome?
You got to specify, Latoya. We're jealous.
Yeah. I'm going to go with me.
Yeah. Paul Hirsch.
There we go.
The most handsome man in the firm.
Yeah, it's it.
Yes. All right.
That's what they say.
So what else do we have to say, little Nikki, for yourself? You got 30 seconds. Anything on your mind?
I think Moshe's the most handsome.
Moshe is a handsome
Sorry,
man.
Paul.
Wow.
That's
Shout out to Moshe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moshe.
You know his wife, Berta Bella, watches all
Berta Bella Baba.
He does.
Hi,
He
Berta.
does have a twin brother.
Yes.
Oh,
I know.
There
He
you
has
go.
a single twin brother.
Nice.
You want me to introduce? I can make an introduction.
I've introduced myself already. Thank
To
you.
the twin brother?
Yeah.
Do we know? Do we
I've seen him.
You have.
Do we know whether it's Moshe here all the time, or could it
No,
be
the
brother?
twin brother. It could be the twin brother. They look exactly like.
Keep an eye out.
No, Moshe's shorter.
We got to get going.
The
Thanks,
proceeding was
everybody.
informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LawLink. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LawLink. That's 1-800-529-5465.